Do 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 do. We're here. We're live. This is, as the title says, episode 2 of the new live stream series that Colin and I are doing. We did this last off week, and we talked about I think we've been referring to it as the Capitol Siege, and so we kind of gave our thoughts and stuff on that because it was an off week from recording. We had a good time, so we decided that we would go live with. All right, I have to search for him. Colin, there he is. So we decided we're going to do this in off weeks. We are going to talk a little bit about politics. We're going to try and do.
Are we trying to do dog?
We're trying to do a little bit more culture type stuff. So, like, we're going to talk a little bit about, wow, look at you. Are you outside smoking a cigar and everything?
That's what I've decided the doubleheader is going to be. Or whatever we do this. I'm going to be outside smoking my fucking stogies.
Work. So that's what we're calling it this time around, is doubleheader. We're still working on a title. It's a work in progress. But doubleheader, I think, is certainly good for now.
I just realized the link that I had open on my computer with all of the executive orders is inside the house. Oh boy. Okay. Well, we can do this. We can figure it out.
Oh. Are you going to be able to make it?
I think so. Man, like if it was in the right angle, I could probably just read through. Otherwise, I'll just run in.
You're hilarious.
What happened? Did we lose connectivity? You there?
Nope. I'm here. I'm out here.
All right. This may not work. I might have to go inside. I'm like right next to the office, right next to the studio. I figured the Wi-Fi would be good. Yeah. But I might have to run inside.
You're not as cool as you think you are.
Apparently not.
You better hurry up. Don't you waste these precious people's time.
Hey,
Colin's running inside.
Yeah.
We're going to talk just one political thing today. We're going to run, obviously, Joe Biden was inaugurated this week. So was Kamala Harris. I thought that it was interesting. Like, of course, every time there's an inauguration, the president and the vice president are inaugurated. Of course, right?
Still weird.
This time, it seems like there was
Connection's bad.
It seems like there was such a big focus on both of them being inaugurated. It was the inauguration of Joseph Biden and Kamala Harris. Like, that was there every single time, which I just feel like when, like, Donald Trump was inaugurated, it wasn't very much about Mike Pence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's generally not a huge deal with, like, the VP. But, I mean, as we know, Kamala Harris is going to be the next president anyway. So
exactly.
That's where I'm at.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, when you think about it,
sorry, go ahead.
When you think about it, she's been the chosen one of the DNC ever since. It's just Tulsi kind of came up and, smashed her dick in the dirt right off the bat, and they had to bring in, Joe Biden as the backup. But
yeah,
well, anyways, that's a whole nother thing. We may or may not get into that later, but I have a bone to pick with that.
The one political thing we're going to run through, we're just going to quickly run through the series of executive orders that were signed on day one of Joe Biden's term, him being in office. I know I tried to combine like two different sentences there. Anyway, we're just going to run through these real quick, and then we're going to talk a little bit about
other things and stuff.
Culture stuff. Just some things, some content that we're consuming, what we're doing when we're not consuming politics in our off time. I have in here, I decided I'm going to the baby show of the week. It's what the baby's onto this week.
The baby show of the week?
The baby show of the week is going to be one of the things that we're going to do. So,
that'd be good. I'm down with that.
So we've got a good set of things going on here. So do you have the list of the executive orders for us to go through real quick?
Up to 30 if you so choose.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
And that's just in the first 3 days.
Good Lord.
Yeah. We have it broken down by day too, so we can go over just the day ones. We could do all 3 days, because some are really not that important.
Yeah,
But
no, just start running through, and we'll, we're not going to dive deep into any of these things. We're
mhm.
just going to kind of touch on them. So,
All right, so let's actually then, if we're going to do those, let's go directly to the federalregistry.gov, which has all the ones that were signed on the first day, published supposedly on the 25th, which supposedly they haven't been published yet. Yeah, supposedly. So, anyways, we have the revision of the civil immigration enforcement policies and priorities, and that essentially, let's see here, disposition table. Okay, that's just something else, but that's looking at deportations and the automatically shutting down of the. I think it was like a 100-day moratorium on the deportations
okay.
that are currently in progress. We have the revocation of certain executive orders concerning federal regulations. So these would be the rescinding of a number of executive orders that Donald Trump had put in to cut regulations. You remember
We are
back when he first came in?
re-regulating.
Yes, because and the stance they're taking is essentially the regulations that he took away were like good for the environment. They're good for consumers or blah blah blah. It was just reckless to pull the regs.
Yeah.
And then we have where was it? Protecting the federal workforce and requiring mask wearing.
And
So
that's masks on federal property, right?
yeah, which he decided to just walk all over his first day.
I did see, which is pretty funny.
Which is, I mean, standard operating procedure as far as hypocrisy goes. Protecting public health and environment and restoring science to tackle the climate crisis. That was another one.
Word.
Ethics commitments by executive branch personnel. That's the loyalty oath they have to swear. Have you heard about that one?
No.
Oh, that's a good one, buddy. So anybody that is, let's see, Section 1, Ethics Pledge. Every appointee in every executive agency appointed on or after January 20th, 2021 shall sign, and upon signing shall be contractually committed to the following pledge, becoming an appointee. You want to hear the pledge?
Yes.
Okay. It's basically, quote, I recognize that this pledge is part of a broader ethics and government plan designed to restore and maintain public trust in government, and I commit myself to conducting consistent with this plan. I commit to decision-making on the merits and extensively in public and exclusively in the public interest without regarding to private gain or personal benefit. It goes, there's a hell of a lot more from there, but it's basically a loyalty to the government and to the citizens pledge that you're taking as a incoming unelected bureaucrat into government, which actually seems kind of nice.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there that's, it sounds sus, a loyalty pledge. But at the end of the day, everybody does that when they get elected to public office anyways, by raising their right hand and taking the oath. So this is like a lower key version of that.
So we'll just have to, I mean, I know, like, that's what's up, but,
Yeah. But still.
Exactly. It certainly doesn't provide me with any more, like, a higher level of trust for any of these people.
No, nothing really changes.
Yeah.
So the next one would be preventing and combating discrimination on the basis of gender identity or sexual orientation. The policy, every person should be treated with respect and dignity and shall be able to live without fear no matter who they are or whom they love. Children should be able to learn without worrying about whether they will be denied access to the restroom, the locker room, or school sport. Adults should be, okay, this is just going to go on and on and on. We're not going to read that whole thing. Just trying to see broad strokes. A lot of these have very little teeth as far as these things. Forcing. Yeah, so any kind of federal contract, any kind of federal worker, you're barred from being discriminated against your sex or your sexual orientation or gender identity.
Right, okay. And so this is I've heard some like conservatives talking about this, and this is when they're talking about like
sports is always the example that's brought up, like men being able to play women's sports, right? And
Yeah.
so that was something that the Trump administration did, was made like it's a huge push back from the LGBT community and, you know, social media advocates for saying that Donald Trump was taking a huge shot at that community when he was saying that schools and anybody that was taking federal money or receiving federal money needed to make sure they were going off of a scientific basis as opposed to like what people were identifying as. And so it makes it so that if you identify, if I was a high school student and identified as a female, then I could play girls sports, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And we've talked about this extensively in the past, that that's not necessarily a bad thing, but there are a lot of cases there. I'm not even going to say that. There are cases that we have seen in a plurality of cases that we've seen. I was trying to figure out the right way to say that, in which it's not turned out well. That the girls that were competing in those sports and the people that were competing in those sports originally were pushed out by somebody who maybe didn't or shouldn't have been in that sport, and things like that. So,
oh yeah, we've seen that time and time and time again recently.
yeah, so that's very interesting.
I think one of the last big cases, I believe, was a cyclist, if I remember correctly.
Well, I remember there was a video come out maybe like 2 years ago from a news company that was like a couple of high school girls from like across a district or a state. And they had like some boys that were identifying as girls that they suspected didn't necessarily identify as women, that had started competing in girls track, and these girls had lost out on scholarships and stuff. And so they were involved in a lawsuit in trying to, you know, get that sorted out. And that's not the only time that we've seen something like that. That's just the only, you know, professionally edited and compiled video that I've seen in which multiple interviews are done, you know, and like there's lots of B-roll and shit, like, but there are numerous cases in which we've heard of and stories and things like that, articles. But that's the only like professionally news done video that I've seen.
Yeah. And this particular order, like most of these, says within 100 days of the date of this order, the head of each agency shall develop, in consultation with the Attorney General, as appropriate, a plan to carry out actions that the agency has identified pursuant to subsection B and C of this section. So basically, it's get your shit together, give me a plan.
Right. This is, again, one of the places where mainstream media fails us. Well, first of all, in the way that we've been taught what executive orders are, and a way in which mainstream media fails in the way that they report them, which like the Biden administration has signed an executive order that does this. Like, well, it doesn't though, because like Colin just said, the vast majority of this, it can't just decide to do things in a lot of cases. You know, there are many laws, like we'll talk about, or a good example is like the minimum wage, the $15 an hour one, you know?
Yeah.
Or like he raised the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. And it's like, well, he didn't. He raised the minimum wage to $15 an hour for federal employees, not the federal minimum wage. You know?
Yeah.
Which like sounds like it's semantics, but it's actually an enormous difference between the entire country having to be $15 an hour and just every federal employee having to pay $15 an hour.
Yeah. Which I would be very surprised to find any federal employee that makes less than $15 an hour.
What I'm saying.
Except, of course, if you're talking active duty military, but then again, they don't really count in their eyes, do
they're
they?
Salaried anyway,
because and they make way less than $15 an hour when you think about that.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's just you can't do that.
So that's definitely something to pay attention to with these executive orders. That the vast majority of them, like you said, they have no teeth. You know,
A lot of them don't. Yeah.
If these particular departments that oversee whatever this executive order is about don't put together a plan and don't do it, then it's not going to get done. It's just a piece of paper that Joe Biden signed.
But the problem is that if he does put this out there, right, he signs the executive order.
Contractors, my mom says.
Oh, yeah. The contract. Yeah, federal contractors, too. Anybody that does business with the federal government will be obligated for that. But yeah, a lot of these
Not a bad
things.
thing. My only point was
Yeah.
just that it doesn't raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. It's the minimum wage for federal employees.
But you wouldn't know that if you turned on CNN.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, and a lot of these, it'll be up to the executive agency that it applies to do all the work, and then to actually put that into. It's weird because it's not law, but it's regulation.
Right.
That is punishable usually by fines and jail time and so on and so forth. So anyways.
The regulations.
Yes. So after that one, we have organizing and mobilizing the United States government to provide a unified and effective response to combat COVID-19 and to provide United States leadership on global health and security. I do believe that this is one of those multi-ones that gets us back into the WHO and tells everybody to make a plan, puts Fauci at the head of our delegation to the WHO.
Right.
Have
you seen? Because
NCS Strat, yep.
Right before Biden was inaugurated, he gave some arbitrary number of vaccinations he was going to get done in the first 100 days.
It's 100 million vaccines in 100 days.
Right. Okay. So then, literally the first full day that he was in office, I was seeing articles in the morning before I even went to work about here's why, the Trump COVID plan was so terrible, we're not even going to be able to accomplish any of these goals. And I'm like, okay, so it's been one day, and you're already saying, forget everything that we just said we were going to do. And I'm pretty sure I even quoted one of the articles on Twitter. And I'm like, do you remember when Donald Trump got into office and his excuse of, oh, well, Obama didn't do this wasn't good enough? Wasn't a good enough reason for why
you're not supposed to remember that, Donovan.
But because Trump is so terrible,
Yes. Orange Man is still bad.
Say, he fucked the country so bad that we can't even do a good job anyway, because
there's no COVID plan here, guys. There's no COVID plan. But we're going to keep the same guy that was in charge because he's got a plan still. But and then Fauci even came out and was like, well, no, we did have a plan. We're just going to build off of it. It's not like we didn't have anything. And the 100 million shots, or the 100 million vaccinations in 100 days breaks down to approximately 1 million vaccinations per day, which is just a hair over what we were doing the day before he was inaugurated. So, and then when fucking spin doctor, what's her name, gets up there on the platform, she's McEnany 0.5 edition. She wishes she could be Kayleigh McEnany. But, God, what's her name?
I don't know.
Oh, crap. I can't remember her name. But
he needs to get himself a Sarah Sanders.
That's what he needs. Well, you never know. She might do the job.
She was savage.
I mean, yeah, she was. But this lady, she got up there when they were talking about this, right? And they said, because, on average, the Trump administration's, we're not getting that many shots into people's arms, right? I heard this talked about on commentary on Friday. But they're like, well, yeah, when you say average, that means, from the day we started administering vaccines to the day he left office, you take all of those days and then however many vaccines were done, and then you divide it by how many days. That's what you call an average is. So they're already playing word games, and which is something that they constantly berated McEnany for. But they're playing the same exact word games. Yeah. At the end of the day, 100 million vaccinations in 100 days that would be expected at this point. If anything, by the end of 100 days, we better not just be doing 1 million vaccinations a day. You should be doing better. Yeah. But it sounds good. It's a nice round number.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah, old Joe. Good old Joe. What else is that? What else we got here? Day one. So anyways, we got their COVID-19 one. Next one, ensuring a lawful and accurate enumeration and enumeration and apportionment pursuant to the decennial census, for fuck's sakes. Basically, that goes, well, remember the push the Trump administration had against counting any non-legal resident of the United States. This is moving that in the opposite. So we're going to go ahead and count anybody that is here in anything other than lawful status in the census for, whatever reason.
Which is what we've always done in the past.
Yeah, it seems.
We just count everybody who's here.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that like every one of those people gets to vote or anything like that. No, it's just like it's realistic numbers for who's on the ground in whatever districts you're doing this thing. It is what it is. It'd be better actually to have a truthful expression of how many people are here in an undocumented fashion, so that we could know how, what are the areas of this, of the United States that we need to kind of like figure out, like, okay, well, why are these people here? What are they doing? And then like say, okay, well then if they're here, they're doing this thing and they're here to make money and they're trying to work and blah, 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 then let's fast track them, get them on the right, get them on the train.
Yeah.
But you know how I am with that kind of, me and my, what did I call it last episode? My xenophilic restrictionist views on immigration.
Yeah, if you want to look at it, go ahead and tap in episode 100.
Yeah, it was quite the endeavor. Right down. And then the last one we had on day number 1 was advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. That's a long one. There's 6, 7, 8, 9 sections, and it speaks to pretty much every executive branch, every executive agency in the executive branch. They all have something to do. 10 sections.
We're not doing that today.
We're not going to go ahead and do that one today. That
go ahead and talk about
all in itself would go ahead and require a deep dive.
Doing that today. That's not
we're not. But it's what we've known has been coming for a long time. This is it's the opposite of the 1776 project. This is the 1619 project in full swing inside the halls of the federal government. We gotta highlight the unbearable human cost of systemic racism and root it out, and then act against it in full anti-racist fashion.
Here.
Yeah, so that's just day 1.
Yeah. So
I would say if you're really interested in diving into these things, there is a list of 30 of them that were done up until the 22nd, so up until yesterday. It's available on CNN. It doesn't have deep dives, but it has a real quick, brief description of every single one of them. And it highlights which ones are reversals of executive orders from the Trump administration and which ones are just new. And it's about 50-50.
Well, maybe you could tweet that article out.
I could do that. I'm going to have to remember my Twitter password on my computer. The problem with getting a new computer, bro, I got to remember all the old passwords for like the Instagram. I got to get the SoundCloud one too. Eventually, we'll have to text about that one later.
Yeah, I'll get that one to you. Okay, so the doubleheader.
Here we go. Actually, if you are watching live right now, I am going to go ahead and just tweet out that article. Done.
Boom. Colin just tweeted it. It's right there. I'll retweet it later.
Fantastic.
Because that sounds good. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a lot of culture-based stuff. Like I said, we want to do a little more kind of the stuff that we did in episode 100 and just talk more about the things that we are doing in our free time that are not necessarily politically based. And so today we actually picked it. We had a birthday party for Dax, and so
that was a blast, by the way.
It's not exactly what I thought that it was going to be, but it was fun. Yeah,
no. What did you do? What kind of situation did you envision?
More of a Rona type situation, where people are kind of coming, like
in and out
and going.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that didn't happen.
I didn't. I love.
We spent a lot of time outside.
Yes. Yeah. And that's just, I just didn't think that. Like, I was excited that you guys were there. I didn't expect you guys to stay that long at all. I totally thought that you were going to just, like, stop by. So.
Well, you guys are way too much fun to hang out with, so there's a problem.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
there.
we're a fucking blast. But, no, it was good. Like, Cody and Mike came over. They brought their baby.
Oh, yeah, that was really cool.
Our little godsend, so that was nice. My cousins came out, drove out from fucking Sheldon if you don't live in Washington.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they drove over now, which I was surprised that they came
That's
out.
a minute, dude.
But they had a good time. They brought their little kids and stuff. Jordan's parents were there. My mom was there. And then Aaron Michael ended up showing up eventually with Kevin and Gracie. So I did a lot of little kids. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, Dax had that smash cake. He loved that fucking cake sitting there.
Dude, that was a killer cake. It was just, it was a perfect little Spider-Man cake.
Mm-hmm.
All just for himself. Probably the size of my head.
Call that a smash cake.
Smash cake.
Yeah.
Is this so that you can smash inside of it if you wanted to? Or?
All these, like, I don't know, Pinterest, Pinterest is just full of things like that. And then they become new things, and then all of a sudden everybody knows what they are. Everybody's girlfriend, everybody's wife knows what this thing is. And so when you're going to have a party or whatever, they're already like, oh, are you going to have a smash cake? And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, oh, it's a little personal cake for the baby so that they can do this. Like, that type of thing is
I just Googled smash cake.
yeah, it's very consistent,
I'm so out of the loop.
Like, Jordan's doing the baking thing, and so is like, this is very in right now. Like, people are really into what was it? The dots on the cake, like the big orbs on the outside of the cake.
Oh yeah.
Like the big
like the hot
sprinkles.
chocolate bombs and stuff.
Yeah, it's just weird. Just weird shit.
It is weird.
That, like, this is just the thing right now in parties. This is
the
party thing. Like, what?
Party fads.
And it's stuff like that. I don't judge anybody for what they do, but it's things
I
like
do.
that. I'm like, we're too soft. Like, this is, and I wasn't raised in a particularly tough fashion. I wasn't in the military. I wasn't, there are many people that would tell me that I'm soft. And like, but when we're at the point where these are the things that we're concerned about, I'm like, we need something terrible to happen to us as a society, because that's not good. We need to have...
Pandemic's not good enough for you, Donovan?
Apparently, this is what we needed, but it doesn't stop the smash cakes.
It doesn't seem to have taken effect, no.
So.
I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at this picture of this smash cake, and it's like a 3-layer funfetti cake with just this deliciously vanilla oozing frosting off top of it. And
that's another thing. The drip,
I want to,
cake.
I want a fucking smash cake now. I want that smash cake right there. It looks real good.
Jordan will make you your own personal smash cake.
She would. It's just because she's such a badass.
She told you she made me a cake last week just because I was like, a cake.
Yeah.
Good. She did it. Yeah. So we did that. It was nice. The smash cake was cool. You got all the little superheroes and stuff. And
that's so funny.
Yeah.
You ever heard of a smash beer, Donovan?
A smash beer?
Yeah.
No.
There's a whole type of beers called smash. This is why it kind of piqued my interest. But in the brewing world, smash actually means something, stands for something. It's called single malt, single hops. So if you're going to make a beer with just one kind of hops and one kind of malt.
Yeah.
And that's a smash beer.
Interesting.
So boom. It's very basic, it's very fun. Yeah, it's a good time. You can fuck around with some smash beers like nobody's business, bro.
Yeah, I wonder if they if you buy one in a store, if it says it on there,
Some of them will. Some of them are marketed as smash beers.
Find some and drink them on the show.
Yeah, I bet you I can find some.
Down for that. Speaking of which, we had some beers tonight, some nice Elysian beers, right?
We did. I'm having some more beers now. What's the problem?
I haven't had beers in a long time, so I got super tired afterwards. So my eyes are super red, and then I took a dab, so I'm drinking coffee right now. My mom texted me and was like, "You look super toasty." I know that, Mom. I can
I
see
know.
myself.
I still am.
Oh God.
That's great.
Micah.
Oh no.
Micah,
Oh no.
what happened?
Micah sent Jordan a Snapchat of me and was like, "You look lit." So apparently, I just look even higher than I even am.
I
I can't.
But
I
I'm not
said-
like fucking.
It's like I can't tell. It's
Oh,
like
they're
from here, it
pretty
looks
good.
like it's 8:40, and you're old man tired, sitting on the couch.
Yeah, they're pretty red. Well, all those things are true.
So I said, this is like way past your bedtime.
At like 5:15, and I played video. I took a shower and shit, and then I did my hair. At 5:15, my hair's been like this since 6 o'clock this morning.
Looks super fresh.
Thank you very much. And then I played video games till Dax woke up.
What'd you play?
What I've been doing. I've been playing Madden.
Red Dead.
And no, not Red Dead. I've been playing Madden, and I have been playing Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, word.
Two things. I told you for some reason. I don't know. I can't try and rationalize it, but like CQB, like close quarters gun battle, is the stuff that's been on my mind lately.
Oh yeah, and Rainbow Six is perfect for that.
Exactly, and so
That's all it is, really, isn't it? I mean,
Yes.
it's all tight in tight quarters type stuff.
Exactly, yeah. And so I've also been watching, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but I've also been watching people play. I've been watching streamers, which
Oh yeah.
a long time was something I didn't understand and I couldn't get into. But I've been watching one dude in particular, Operator Drewski, shout out Operator Drewski, who is playing 2 games called Escape from Tarkov. Have you heard?
Okay. Yeah.
And then another game that's just called Squad. And those are both.
Oh yeah, I've heard of Squad.
Yeah, the Squad is like 50 versus 50 on a big map, like Call of Duty, big, deal. And then Escape from Tarkov is like a super realistic first-person shooter, like eating food, drinking water, levels of armor, levels of ammunition, like all that type of shit. Super in-depth game that they're computer games that I can't play, and so I find it interesting.
Oh yeah.
Because I have like the laptop, but there's no way that I
Yeah, you don't have the beast machine like I do now, right?
exactly. So
when you buy a computer now and it's a clear tower with like cycling rainbow color lights on the inside, that's how you know you can play games on it.
yeah,
Otherwise, it's like, I don't know. This could just be a work computer.
exactly. Yeah, and so there are not games that I even have like the capability to play.
Yeah.
So they're interesting to watch, just because I can, and they're super fucking intense. I don't know if you've ever watched Tarkov or anything, but
No. I watch very few games right now.
Yeah.
Carolina's going to be playing here real quick. Eventually, I think she's just now gearing up. She's getting her streaming stuff ready to go. But I'm not sure what she's going to be streaming tonight. Lately, on Saturday, she's been streaming Skyrim, going through playing vanilla Skyrim, which is really fun. But she plays Rainbow Six sometimes, Call of Duty, Apex.
A couple of months back. And then, but Dax wasn't napping well that day, so I wasn't able to play for very long.
Oh yeah,
that was in that period where he just was sleeping like shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then and I'll watch Carolina sometimes, and I'll watch Brandon sometimes.
Oh yeah, I forget Brandon's on there. I get his notifications every now and again.
Yeah, exactly. So I watch them every now and again. That's kind of what got me into starting to watch streamers again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really just this the one dude,
Yeah.
And it's because he's playing those 2 games that I like a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you ever get down in some Skyrim back in the day? Because I know you were a Fallout dude.
Huge Fallout. But I've played Skyrim before, but I wasn't as into it as I was Fallout.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Skyrim.
Carolina turned me on to this dude named Farrell, and I think he's got maybe 2 or 3 underscores after his name or something like that. But all he streams is Skyrim, but he does it super modded out. And it's this kind of like a level that I used to play where you play like super immersive. So the damage is like 100 times over. So like if you can get stabbed like a couple times and then you die.
Yeah.
There's like, you can get wet and then cold or overheated,
Sure.
like all this crazy shit that makes it, there's no fast traveling and stuff like that. You got to camp out, you get too tired, all that good shit. And that's all he does. And it's actually really entertaining. I actually got him on in the background right now.
Yeah. Fallout actually has a mode that's called hardcore mode that you can play on there that is like that. Where like everything has weight, every bullet you carry has weight, and you have to eat and drink and can't be out in the sun for too long, and you have to sleep and shit like that.
Yeah.
And that's
It's probably one of those you die. That's sorry, you got to start a new character.
exactly, yeah.
You dead.
And that's how Tarkov is too.
Oh yeah.
To my understanding, that like obviously I've never played it. I'm just gathering things from watching it, but like it's like a not post-apocalyptic because there wasn't like a nuclear warfare, but for whatever reason, this particular area shut down. And so like different mercenary groups have been brought in, and so you have your character, your player-made character that's going out and getting shit, and if you die as your player-made character, then you lose everything that you had. So you can also, you're like collecting things for like a home base, but so you can also send out like scavenger characters to collect shit that are just random computer people that you don't lose all your items, but you can still gather more shit.
Welcome to Tarkov. I'm looking at all like the screenshots right now. Just Googled it. Fucking beautiful looking game.
Yes.
Polished.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. I don't even want to try to run that on my computer.
You should watch. They made a couple of like promotional videos for Tarkov that is super fucking savage. Super savage.
Word. I'll check them out.
I would recommend that. You can just Google like "Escape from Tarkov Episode 1" and it has all of those. Those are super sick.
Escape from Tarkov.
That to anybody who likes shoot 'em up, type movies or anything. I can tell you, I've been obsessed with Den of Thieves for fucking months now.
Den of Thieves.
Yeah, Den of Thieves has Ice Cube's kid and 50 Cent is in it. And,
oh shit.
they like rob banks and shit.
This is a movie?
Yes.
2018. Den of Thieves.
Yeah.
Look at that. Is that Gerard Butler? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I thought
Pablo Scherber, O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
I thought you had seen this movie.
Fuck no, bro.
Oh, you have.
We were talking about it, though. We were talking about it.
Oh, my God. I am obsessed with this movie. So, yeah. Okay,
dude, that looks hard, bro.
Bro. Ice Cube, obviously, Ice Cube's kid and 50 Cent. And a couple of dudes there robbing banks, and they try and rob the Fed in LA, the LA branch of the Fed. And so they rob that, and there's one scene in the end, and it doesn't ruin anything, but there's obviously a big shootout scene, in any bank robbing movie, there's a big shootout scene.
Yeah.
And one of the main characters takes a fucking saw, a saw machine gun, out of the truck and lays it on the hood of his Suburban and just just dumps the whole fucking canister down the back of the rod.
I'm going to show you this. This is the picture I literally had up on my computer. I don't know if you can see it. It's like that one.
Yes, that's exactly. Yeah, they're trying to get away. And they see it because Gerard Butler's actually the cop in that movie. He's the sheriff, and so they see Gerard Butler, and he's just like, "Give me the saw," and he gets out and sets it on the hood of the Suburban. Yeah, and just unloads that whole fucking can down the street. Oh my god!
Oh, high quality filmmaking here.
Yeah, that movie starts out instantly with a gun battle. They're robbing people.
So it's like a standard Gerard Butler movie. Just nothing but shooting and nonstop action.
Gerard Butler's a real piece of shit in that movie. He's a real piece of shit. Yeah. I love a heist movie. I love heist movies with like a good twist at the end, especially with a gun battle. I love it.
What was that Denzel fucking one? Inside Man. Inside Man.
Inside
When
Man
they were
is
like,
good.
they built the false wall and shit.
Yes,
That movie was so good.
Inside Man.
So good.
You seen The Town?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, The Town is a good one.
Yeah, with what's his face in it, and Marky Mark and shit.
No, not
All them asshole boys.
And Affleck is in it.
The Fleck,
and
the Town.
Jeremy Renner is in it.
Oh yeah, Jeremy Renner, and then that other clean cut dude.
Ben Affleck.
Well, yeah, I mean Ben Affleck. What's the other dude's name though? Blake Lively, John Hamm. John Hamm.
Yes, John Hamm. You're right. Yep.
Yep.
FBI agent.
He's super clean cut.
Super clean cut. Mad Men. You seen Mad Men? It's okay if you haven't.
No, I haven't seen Mad Men.
Yeah, I've watched Mad Men.
The show?
Seasons, maybe the show.
Okay.
Yeah. It's actually pretty good. I haven't seen it in fucking.
I've heard great things about Mad Men.
But good shit. Definitely worth it.
How many seasons are there?
Oh man.
Can I get committed to this thing? Can I get Chip committed?
Like 6 or 7 seasons, I think.
7 seasons, 92 episodes. Fuck
Yeah,
that. I got enough seasons going on
And
right now.
it's set in the 50s, you know? It's super old school.
Watch now for free on Amazon Prime Video.
And when I watched it, like I said, I think I only watched like 2 seasons, but it was a pretty good story. Like the main character had stolen someone's identity, you know, and so he was like living as somebody else. John Hamm was living like, and that's, if you're going to watch it, then it's not a spoiler because I don't know how that ends. I just know that that's what the storyline is. But yeah, so he's like living as somebody else who died in World War II or something like that. He like stole that guy's identity. Yeah.
Oh, shit. They did a Simpsons episode like that.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's, yeah. Fucking Principal Skinner. Not the real Skinner.
Really?
Yeah. He stole it from some dude in Vietnam.
That's so weird.
And then he comes back one day. It was a weird thing because, like, they did that it was like a couple episodes where that was kind of like a thing. And then it kind of went away, and they're like, well, we'll just not talk about that again because otherwise we just fucked ourselves for everything. Like, we can't do that.
Yeah.
There was like, yeah, it was like a whole thing. Like, Principal Skinner wasn't even like real Skinner. It was so weird.
Have you ever, just because we were talking about it, have you ever played Rainbow Six before?
Siege?
Yeah.
I think I've played it one time,
It's
but
hard.
not really.
It's super hard.
I used to be hella into Rainbow Six Vegas and Rainbow Six Vegas 2, which I think Siege is essentially just it was birthed from that.
Yeah.
But I just haven't been into it. It's like ever since it came to prominence, like the FPS and stuff just has not been my genre.
Yeah. It's super difficult. And I've considered, especially since I've been playing it more, I've like thought about streaming a little bit just as like another branch of our content, you know? But I'm fucking so terrible at it that I don't want to.
Sometimes those streamers are the ones to follow.
There are days, you know, where I just will go 4 matches without a kill, and I'm like, all right, this is where I'm at today. I'm just getting murdered around every corner.
That sounds like when I got into that latest Battlefield game. Maybe it was Battlefield 5 or something like that. One of the more recent World War II ones.
Hard, bro.
Dude, I'd be playing with Chad and like Carolina and like a couple other people and shit like that. And it'd be like we'd go like 2 matches, and the rounds could be like an hour long.
Yes.
You go like 2 rounds and like have like I got 5 kills maybe.
Yeah.
Don't look at my deaths. I got like 15, but
I had Battlefield 1.
yeah,
The one before 5. And that one,
the World War One.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one was really sick, but it was the same thing. Yeah. The matches were like 50 minutes long, you know.
Fuck yeah.
And
I love that
50
stuff.
versus 50, which is super sick. But yeah, sometimes you would get sniped, you know, from across the map.
Yeah.
5 lives in a row, and then
You just got to struggle for an hour in that shitstorm.
just about ready to smash the controller because you're like, I literally can't fucking go anywhere without getting destroyed. Someone shooting you with a plane or something like that, and you're like, that's it. Quit. I'm fucking done.
Oh shit! The next Connor, there's an MMA match coming up. Yeah, and I think
Tonight.
I think it's tonight. Yeah, it must have just kicked off because Connor's fighting in that one again, right?
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
I always I would love to watch those things, but I just can never justify the pay-per-view because
What does it cost?
Like $100, bro.
What the fuck over?
Which is not, $100 is $100, but it's also $100.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of money for something that could be over in 5 seconds. And
all right, we're gonna look at this right now because I can do this because we're live. Oh, okay. So if you have ESPN Plus, that's a thing. Main cards at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So that's late.
You can watch it on ESPN Plus.
It's probably still a pay-per-view.
Oh,
but yeah, Apple TV, Fire TV, Android, Roku, Samsung.
How much is it?
Chromecast, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't say. It does not say. Oh, no, it just asked me to sign up for fucking ESPN Plus. Damn it. Either way, pay-per-view. You're buying, like, the cost of, like, a ticket of what it would normally be to go to the actual event, right?
I think so.
Before the normal event became exorbitantly overpriced.
I have to go get a phone charger.
Oh, dog.
Phone's dying.
Oh, snap.
It's a 20%, bitch.
Oh, that's nothing, bro. Shit. That's too funny.
Into our bedroom. Fucking cat, get out of here.
Meow. Dude, that's something I would love to, like, start to get more into and watch more of is MMA. But it's like, I don't know, like, the best ways to watch it, when, where. We're just going to have to start poking around, watch some UFC.
It used to be on, like, all the time.
Yeah.
Do you want to see, Colin, I put the Dundies patch on my vest.
Oh, fuck yeah. Got the Dundies, bro.
Yeah. Ooh. Pull my shit out. Okay. Give a swapper.
Woo! I love the Velcro on the vest, bro.
Yeah.
That's so good.
So, it's on the back. Got a little American flag on the front, but Dundies on the back.
Beautiful.
So when we're clearing a room, you can slap the Dundee. What?
Main card. 4 p.m. Damn. So UFC has been over for a minute. I could probably find out who won already.
Probably.
Yeah. I guess apparently I don't care that much.
Sorry for these beautiful angles, everyone. I'm just trying to get my phone plugged in so we don't lose our stream.
You're just being artistic, bro. Look at you. Yeah, this is going to be a thing. Like, trying to figure out how to find a way to, like, legitly save these videos and upload them onto YouTube is becoming a nuisance.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because, and it's like this with all the social medias, man. When it comes to, like, even YouTube. Like, if you do any kind of live stream or something on their platform, like, if you don't save it to whatever device you're on, if you even have the option, like, you don't own it. They do. So you can't get, like, the hard MP4 file or something like that. So you have to, there's all these programs online that allow you to, like, rip your own videos and stuff back.
Yeah.
But it's weird that, like, you make this piece of content on a platform, but you don't own it. It's not yours. It's whatever the platform says. It's frustrating.
Are there any platforms other than, I know that whatever it's called ThinkSpot that Jordan Peterson and Dave made up. Other than that, are there any other social media platforms that ensure that you own everything you put on there, or is it like that on, like,
Locals.com does too. But the problem with a lot of these things is there's a barrier to entry. Like, you just can't go on and sign up. Like, I was looking at oh crap, man, I'm not even remembering the name of it. It's like fuck. It's a YouTube alternative platform. Starts with an R, and for whatever reason, it's Rumble. Yeah, and trying to get set up on there is being a problem, but we're about to be up on Rumble. Just trying to get everything in a row. That way, when we actually have a presence on there, we have a video library that we can get to. But I think they're a little better with content ownership.
I've heard tale of people it taking longer for them to get their content on Rumble, like longer upload times and shit, but once it's up there. And I would imagine that just goes with them not having as many servers as YouTube does.
Yeah.
Bandwidth. So.
Yeah, the bandwidth, and just, there's always, when we think about YouTube it's been around since, day one, essentially.
Ever.
Yeah, and I mean, how many lessons have they learned over those decades, that they have now? Oh, what does that say? I can't read the comment.
So good night, boys. Love you.
Bye. That's the first comment I've seen show up on the stream so far.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe they're just not showing up on mine.
Well, I'm on the stream, so
that could be
none of your goddamn business what people are playing.
Nice shirt, by the way. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Hey, look at that.
So what have you been? Baby show of the week. Before we move on to you, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Yeah. He
Or,
seems super into Mickey Mouse now. What?
He's obsessed with Mickey Mouse.
This is new.
That's Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I don't know. You got to try new things. Eventually you get tired of Frozen and Trolls, and you got to try and find something else. So,
there you
go. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse has been the thing the last few weeks.
It's
weird.
Have you given him any? Put it this way. Has he seen any of the cartoons that you grew up with yet?
I've tried.
Okay. Like what?
Have watched X-Men.
Okay.
Like the old, 90s X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because you can find that one streaming.
It's on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that.
Not into it, huh?
Not interested. The animation, I think, is just not up to par.
I got some old school Looney Tunes DVDs, bro.
Scooby-Doo. We tried to play Scooby-Doo for him. Not interested. Yeah. So
Dang.
it's
that's tough.
It is heartbreaking.
I was going to say.
There's a small part of you that wants to be able to relive your childhood vicariously through your child and hopes that they will like the things that you liked. And so
when you put it like that, it seems weird that I have these feelings.
Try and expose them to that stuff. And when they tell you to go fuck yourself, it hurts just that much more, You're like, how do you not love this?
Come on.
We ran into that with MF Doom, when MF Doom died.
Mm-hmm.
It was I don't know, a week where if he asked me to play music, I was putting on MF Doom. I wasn't asking him what he wanted to play. I wasn't like, oh, do you want to listen to Drake or Mac Miller? We were just going to listen to MF Doom.
Yeah, this is what we're doing.
He hated it. He wasn't a fan. Didn't want to listen to it at all. And I was like, oh no, this is it. MF Doom is dead and your dad is upset about it. And this is what we're going to do for now.
And you die a little inside.
And and there's a part of the movie Trolls where one of the characters comes up on these weird creatures that have trumpets for faces, and they blast the opening riff to Brass Monkey at this character, and he then shits a birthday cake. Trolls World Tour is one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen in my whole life. He shits a birthday cake with candles on it. Swear to God.
Are the candles lit?
Yes.
That seems problematic.
And he shits his birthday cake, and it's in layers, 1 tier, 2 tiers, candles, and then fire. And he goes, "Happy birthday!" And I swear, then the scene is over.
Oh my God! And then just
That's it. Yeah.
Cold cut.
He walks because he's like looking for his parents or something, and he
Oh my God.
walks into these woods, and then those animals come out, bump, 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 and then he shoots the birthday cake. Happy birthday! And then, so maybe he gets picked up right after that. I'm pretty sure the scene is either way. It's a very short scene, and so Jordan tried to play the Beastie Boys for him. Not interested.
Not at all.
And I was sitting on the floor when she did it, and she went to change it, and I was like, no, I'm invested now. We're doing
Yeah,
this thing.
we're doing this.
I love the Beastie Boys. We're listening.
You started Brass Monkey. This is happening.
And I was like, bro, how do you not like the Beastie Boys? Like, who doesn't like the Beastie Boys?
Oh, maybe because he was born in 2019.
No way. No way.
Oh shit, that's too funny.
No. Okay, what kind of games have you been playing? I know that you play games sometimes, but you're a computer game guy. You're a Steam.
I am.
You're not a console guy.
What we call PC Master Race.
Yeah.
That's what we call that. It's a thing in the gaming community, and it obviously shits on Apple. But when you're talking about computer gaming, there's nobody's on an Apple because if you're trying to do that with an Apple, you're an idiot.
Apple's kind of the standard for like journalism, but certainly
like pinky out. I drink at Starbucks every single day, kind of guys.
From my understanding, just kind of like for people who are journalists, like for newspapers and shit, Apple computers are just kind of the standard.
Yeah. No, I will say because I am a member of the PC Master Race, we shoot on Apple computers all the time. But they're extremely user-friendly. They're very, very powerful in what they do. They have a lot of great like video editing and writing software and all that. But But anyways, I've been so this ties into also like this podcasting stuff that I've been listening to recently because I realized
this podcasting thing
this podcasting thing. I don't really know what it is. I've realized I had like a cold hard like been dealing with a lot of like personal shit recently, right? And it hit me the other day that I do not partake of any kind of media other than like, we'll just say something that belongs in the show, right? Yeah. Something that belongs on the podcast. So it's politics all the time, which is fine for me. Like I like it. It's fun, it doesn't fuck with me or anything. So but I realize that I don't, besides work, I don't do anything else right now. And if I don't make a conscious effort to like actually do something else, that's all I'll do. That's all I'll do. And next thing you know, it's work, politics, and bed, period. So I decided because the great and powerful Dan Carlin, who does hardcore history, and then he has his political show, Common Sense, which he has put out 2 new Common Sense episodes in the last like few months. Yeah. So if you haven't listened to those, I highly recommend them. But I was listening to that because it came out after the 6th, after the events on the 6th. And just listening to him talk and stuff like that kind of got me geared up to go back and listen to some hardcore history again. So I started listening to his series on the fall of the Roman Republic, not to be confused with the fall of the Roman Empire, 2 very different things. And that kind of got me interested in playing this grand strategy game on my computer called Total War Rome. Yes. And it's the newer one. It's Rome 2, but I've been playing some Total War Rome and just taking over the world. It's been pretty sweet. It's been pretty sweet. Let's put it this way: if you know anything about Rome's history, there's a period at which they called the people in charge consuls, and then there's always 2 of them in charge at one time. So you basically have like 2 presidents, right? But at certain times, generally during like a military crisis or something, one of the consuls might need to declare himself a dictator and take sole control over the Empire of Rome at that time, or the Republic of Rome at that time. Right. But that's before they became an empire with a single dictator at the top, which they then started to just call the Caesar after the original, main dictator. Right. But I've been playing this campaign pretty early in the Roman Republic days, and I'm a member of the same family as Sulla, who is basically responsible for the fall. He partially responsible for the fall of the Republic of Rome.
Yeah.
So I'm in that family, and I'm kind of role playing this thing, and I'm fucking on Carthage and like all these other people. It's been pretty great. So that's what I've been playing lately.
Based, like Conquer type game.
Yes, I mean it's a. So let's picture this way: take a map of the world, right? That's one area of play that you'd be working in, like this grand strategy. You're talking about moving armies across continents, and deciding what your major cities are doing and building.
Yeah.
But then when you get in,
kind of.
yeah, except think a little bit bigger scale, a little bit more higher.
What is that called? Like a grand strategy game? What's that?
Yeah,
called?
I think that's you'd call it a grand strategy versus just a strategy game.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect, but then once your armies come into contact with somebody, you want to fight some people, you're down on the ground, like commanding the legions as they go in, so you can like position them around and move them, and it's all live action, and it's
kind of like,
it's pretty awesome.
Have you ever played Dynasty Warriors?
Yeah, it's like that.
Kind of like that.
It's kind of like that, except you're controlling like the actual units instead of just the single dude on the ground. But yeah, that level and that scale. I mean, I'd be on the battlefield with thousands of troops on the ground, and just
that's wild,
marking people. Carthage they're an asshole.
Yeah, I kind of think, Offie, that we're going to get cut off here in just a minute.
Uh-oh. Is your phone going out?
No, I think that Instagram has a 1 hour time limit on lives.
Well, we need to talk to Mike Zuck and find out what's up with that.
So I think that we're going to get cut off here in just a few seconds, actually.
Oh, that's fine. Then we'll just say peace out.
And I'm not
we can do that
for certain, but if we are, then we love you guys, and if not, then we're just going to continue to go.
Yeah, and if not, yeah, we'll just find out what happens.
We just hit 60 minutes, so
perfect.
As of now, we're going to say thank
you. Do I hold your breath?
For joining us, but we're just going to keep going, I guess.
Yeah. Until we're done.
Yeah. So the grand strategy game. Is there anything else that you've been playing?
No, that's pretty much it. Takes up a lot of time.
Is there anything Gundam? You've been watching Gundam again lately, right? Because you are into anime, which is something that surprised me when I first met you. And then I found like
this is what I'm watching right there.
Into just Japanese shit, essentially, just all things Asian.
Who, me?
Your wife.
Yes. Yeah, she's
into just Asian things.
Yeah, she's what we would call a Japanophile.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, she is. I'm pretty sure, and I bet you if I asked her in here, because I'm pretty sure she told me this. I don't think it's offensive, but she thinks she might have been a geisha in a former life.
Oh.
Which has worked out well on my end, obviously. But yeah, no, I mean, ever since I've met her, that's been one of our like our commonalities throughout our entire relationship. Yeah, just everything Japan, ancient Japan, current Japan, whatever. Super into anime. Yeah. She is super into anime. I like some of it.
So are those that DVD you just got? Is that like a series run or a movie?
This is, I believe. Okay, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Right now, in the format I have it, it is an 8 episode series.
Word.
So it's pretty short, but I think originally it might have been like a movie at a time. And I'm not totally sure.
Are all of these things connected somehow? Like, is there a canon to all of the different Gundam stuff?
That is a good question, my friend. Let me explain this to you. So I have 3 DVD sets here. The ones that I just got. I got 0080, 0083, and then my favorite 8th MS Team. Those all take place in a specific universe of Gundam. The original one that the original Gundam in 1979 is based in.
Oh, shit.
And there's a couple more. Which you could watch on the Funimation app if you so choose to download that on your PS4. for free
Gundam's
too.
even
I'm pretty
older than
sure.
I thought it was. I didn't know that it was that old.
Yeah. I have heard some people on the YouTubes and stuff. They describe Gundam as essentially Japan's Star Wars, like their version of Star Wars
It's
to them.
pretty fucking sick. I've watched it when I was a kid, and
I'm a fan.
I tapped back into one not too long ago, and it was
Mm-hmm.
so fucking. Anime has like a particular style of conversation that
Yeah.
I got a really hard time getting into and like getting past, and so it's a big obstacle for me. But the action,
You got to kind of think
shit,
melodrama.
yeah. And the acting is just terrible. All the voice acting, the people who do most of the American anime voice acting is terrible. Not all of it, because some of
So
it's really good.
when was the last time? I should say most of the new anime now that's coming out, and even the older stuff. I feel like they've gone back and redone the American,
They redubbed
the
it.
English dubbing,
Yeah.
because like some of it,
terrible.
it used to be god awful.
Yeah.
But even watching the original one again, like I swear there's a couple voices that I've heard in other shows. I'm going, I don't think this is the original. This isn't as bad as I remember it being.
I'm sure that it benefits them to do that so that
Oh yeah.
that more people can enjoy it for longer.
And there was a whole thing about like America importing anime and shit, like when they did back in the old days in the 90s,
Right.
specifically, where they would completely change things and completely change storylines and character arcs and all this. And
Yes.
thankfully, that kind of shit's gone away.
The American one, it's like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad, man. Some of that stuff, they butchered that shit all to hell. But nowadays, there's some good ones even on like Netflix and Hulu. You can watch some good ones on there right now. That's actually what got me back into it again, is watching one of the newer series on Netflix. I think it might be the newest. It's called Iron Blood Orphans. And it's a totally separate universe. It's not the same universe as these ones. So it's a totally separate, enclosed universe, so you don't need any kind of like introduction to it beforehand. You can just throw it on and just watch it.
Yeah.
And it's fucking great, dude. It's fucking great.
Gundam offshoot.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's a Gundam. Then, there's probably like 5 or 6 different universes that are different, which is kind of nice because you don't have to have like all that background,
Right.
It's like you can't just watch the last Lord of the Rings movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
I think
in these ones you can.
I think Star Wars is probably a pretty apt comparison because there's a bunch of different, like Star Wars Clone Wars and like Rogue Wars and different little series and shit that they made that all are relevant and have to do with each other, but you can also watch kind of independently, like there's like the Clone Wars series or whatever, that's
yeah, we're slowly working our way through that right now, by the way.
Right. And so that's like, it's connected, to Star Wars and all the shit.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to watch Clone Wars to watch the Star Wars movies and enjoy it and understand what's going on. But it certainly provides way more context and
all the context, bro.
Exactly. I've watched it several times, admittedly. I've watched it several times. There is a video that's like just over an hour long, or maybe just under an hour long, that a dude did. That's the complete history of Star Wars. That's like as we know it, because there are books and TV shows and all. Yeah. So he literally starts in the very beginning of Star Wars universe and just runs through a timeline, and it shows you in the corner of the video like what content he's getting that information from.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a fucking great video. I'm
gonna have to watch that.
Video. Oh, it's awesome. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. It's totally worth it is a fuckload of information because it's like he's
just running through it.
He obviously wrote it down on the script and then just read through it. But yeah, it's like he's teaching it to you in a classroom. It's really intense, but it's fucking super interesting.
That's awesome. By the way, Carolina is officially streaming. And she is indeed playing Skyrim today. She's in Whiterun right now, I believe.
Jordan really enjoyed Skyrim.
Fucking Skyrim's great, dude.
Skyrim, yeah. Jordan.
I've played that game a dozen times, probably. Like full through the story.
Really?
Yeah, so many times.
I never beat Skyrim. That's not one that was a Fallout thing for me. Like
Yeah, I
Fallout
bet.
3 I played. That was the first Fallout I ever played was Fallout 3. So, admittedly, anybody, watching,
Oh yeah.
oh, you're not even a real fucking Fallout guy. I don't play computer games, so it's like impossible for me to play Fallout 1 and 2. But yeah,
Fallout 3 was also my first.
yeah, and
It was a
it
game
was
changer.
excellent game, and I played it through numerous times. And then Fallout New Vegas, and I never beat New Vegas, but then I beat Fallout 4 several times. Are you okay? Dropped it.
I've been thinking
And
about trying to play Fallout 4 again.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Fallout 4.
Every now and again on Steam, the computer gaming like platform that I use mostly, it comes on sale a lot, and most of the time it's like $5.99 now. I'm like, I just want to fucking do it again.
It's totally worth it.
So good.
For $6, it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with all of the different expansions that they have now. The different expansions they made for it were really good.
Oh yeah.
Some of them better than others. Far Harbor was really, really good.
That was when you could start like building your base and stuff, right?
No, well, that was Fallout 4, but Far Harbor was a specific add-on, was a DLC that was like a whole separate map and everything. It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
You like took a boat to get there. It was
Yes.
Sick.
Now I remember.
Yeah, Far Harbor was sick.
Well, shit. I hate to say this, dude, but I think we might actually have to dip out pretty soon because my battery's about to die.
That's okay. We are just over an hour, so we can call it good this time. This was the Salt of the Streets double header. Do you have anything else that you want to say?
No, we can clank our heads together, bro.
Word. Well,
other than this was a lot of fun.
Yes, yeah. And we're obviously still, thank you everybody who joined us. We're obviously still figuring out exactly what this is going to turn into, what the format of it is going to be and everything. So thank you for bearing with us for the first couple of episodes while we figure out what the jam is going to be. But I think that this culture type of thing is a good way to go for this. Because we talk frequently about how these things tie into politics and tie into what we're doing and how our politics influence what we're consuming. I think at this point, I think it should be very important to realize that like me and you are very different. Yes. I mean, on every scale, and it's still thinking back to like how we met and got together and all that stuff. It still boggles my mind. Whereas if you just listen to the podcast, be like, oh, these motherfuckers probably grew up right next door to each other. You know, it's like, no, man, we into some very different shit. Yeah. So I think this is a great way, and it's fun. You know, we get to do this on the off weeks of the podcast. So like, you know, all these hardcore fans out there that really want some extra content, they get that shit on the off weeks. It's pretty great. You crazy fools. And I'm going to go online and definitely steal the shit out of this video and try to put it on the YouTube. Do it. Yeah, so thank you for everybody joining us on our Instagram at Salt of the Streets. Our Colin's Instagram at Big Bird Offie. My Instagram is at alpaca_Donovan. And I am at Salt of the Street on Twitter. Colin is at Big Bird Offie on that as well. saltofthestreets.com for all of this. Episode 100 came out on Monday. Next weekend we'll be recording episode 101. It's going to be sick. Tap in. Peace out, everybody. Have a good weekend. How do I end this? Boom. Probably click.